Hi guys, I wanted to share with you something that happened to me today. Actually, so much has happened to me after my session that I had with Bashar. I talked a little bit about this on my channel if you follow me, but I had a channeled session with Darryl Anka, who channels Bashar, who's a multi-dimensional being, and it was really profound. And ever since then, really the key takeaway was that I was choosing to live my life in a sort of hell. I was choosing to focus on and keep the beliefs around my trauma and around my past that are no longer really serving me. And he helped really open my eyes to the fact that it was a choice. It was a choice to hold on to these memories and to hold on to these thoughts and to continue living in that. But within that choice to have those beliefs, there is also a part of it that serves us. There's a part of having beliefs, whether they are perceived as positive or negative. There's a part of that actually serves us. And the work is getting real with yourself on why those beliefs serve you. In what way does holding on to a victim story serve you? Or in what way does holding on to a story around lack or not being worthy serve you? And if you can really tap into that from a loving, authentic place for yourself and not in like a judgmental way, but in honestly being real with yourself and saying, why does this serve me? Like, what is this doing for me? And that conscious awareness, sorry, there's like cars going by. But that conscious awareness is what sheds light on those aspects in you that really helps you understand yourself more and understand how you operate. And when you can understand that, you can consciously change how you're operating. You can change the person that you're being. And so, since my session with Bashar, I've really decided that the stories I was living in the past are no longer me. And that's how you change yourself on a quantum level, is by choosing to believe different stories and choosing to identify with different things. And so I decided that I am going to change the way that I think about my past and the way that I think about myself. And moving forward, I'm going to operate from that state of being, from that set of belief systems. And I'm going to start being that person and show up as that person and no longer live in the old stories. Because honestly, when I got real with myself, I was like, these stories don't feel good. It doesn't feel good to believe these things about myself, and it doesn't feel good to believe these things about the past. And on a quantum level, we can shift our past by choosing to believe different experiences and different memories and choosing to stop focusing on those negative aspects. Like there's one thing to look at negative beliefs that we have and analyze them and say, okay, how does this serve me? What is this belief showing me? And then to have that conscious awareness so that we can let it go. But it's another thing to have a belief that we continue to just fester in and fester in and fester in, without bringing any acknowledgement as to why we're choosing to believe that and how it serves us. So I think they're very different things. And I mean, I've sat in negative belief systems before for a long time. So I completely understand if you're at that place. But what has really helped me is to get real with myself about the beliefs that I had and why they were serving me and why I was choosing to hold on to them. And then once I gave myself permission to actually drop the beliefs, to let them go, it's like, you're holding on to baggage and you're gripping it so hard. But when you can let go of the bags, that is when you find your freedom. That's when things really start to change for you because you're no longer holding on to those things. And it happened really quickly for me, actually. I ended up having a dream last night about my dad and my brother, who I have kind of rocky relationships with, or had rocky relationships with in the past. But I had a dream about all of us being together and having this really beautiful experience and memory, and it was so fun. And I just remember laughing and being really lighthearted and really connecting. And when I woke up, it was so refreshing because I don't really have memories or hadn't had memories like that in the past. And when I had this really positive memory and positive dream, I realized I was allowing myself now to experience positive memories, positive emotions, positive situations, because I decided to shift out of that reality of being in the trauma and shift out of the reality of being in that negative experience and just say, okay, I see you. This has served me at some point, but it doesn't serve me any longer. And now I'm going to choose to drop that baggage, and I'm going to choose to allow myself to experience positive experiences, whether it be imaginary or real. I'm going to choose to focus on those experiences. And so I called my dad today and I told him about the dream, and he was like, Lindsay, that wasn't a dream, that actually happened. Like, we really did that. And it was profound to me. Whether or not I was reliving an old memory or in the quantum field, I decided to shift into a new reality that contained that memory. So I was then able to have that connection and correlation with my father because I chose to shift into a different reality. I was no longer having the conversations with him about negative experiences and negative things that happened, but I chose to then let that stuff go so I can shift up higher to a higher vibration and recall memories that were at that level in that parallel reality, if that makes sense. And I know this is kind of crazy and a lot of information to kind of digest. May not make sense to a lot of you. I know sometimes it takes me a minute to kind of like get this stuff, but I thought it was a really interesting scenario and interesting situation that happened. And right after I decided to drop the baggage and drop the story that I was living in and change that identity and show up and actually be a new version of myself, my reality shifted so fast. It was so fast. So I wanted to share that with you. If you're going through something similar, I just really encourage you to give yourself permission to drop the bags. Give yourself permission to let it go, drop it, and choose to focus on something that is more positive, more productive for you, that feels better for you, that brings you more excitement and more joy and more love, and focus on that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I am always awkward with endings. I really don't know what to say. I don't know how to close these things out. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment below, and I'll be seeing you. Bye!